Chairman Braley, Ranking Member Davis, thank you for inviting me to appear before your subcommittee on behalf of Hephner TV and the Consumer Electronics Retailers Coalition. It is our privilege to offer you our perspective as an independent consumer electronics firm on the progress of the DTV transition in America's heartland. Transition in the consumer electronics industry is nothing new. Our company was established by my father, Lonnie, in 1950, long before Wichita had any TV stations. We witnessed the transition from radio to TV, from black and white to color, and now from analog TV broadcasts to digital TV broadcasts. While technological changes can confuse and frustrate consumers, these same changes eventually enhance consumers' lives and are accepted, enjoyed once they are understood. As probably the smallest member of the Consumer Electronics Retailers Coalition, our management team gets to observe these changes and consumers' reaction to them on a daily basis in our own store. The sheer scope of the DTV broadcast transition is without precedent, leading some small consumer electronics firms to choose not to participate in the NTIA coupon and education programs. The reasons given are varied, but most of these other dealers have told me that they wanted to avoid the hassle of redeeming coupons, providing customer education, and dealing with customer complaints. Our company, however, embraced the transition, and our experience has been very positive. Hephner TV was an early participant in the NTIA's coupon-eligible converter box program. In partnership with CLC Services, part of the IBM team that NTIA is contracting with, we served as a pilot site to test the coupon redemption systems prior to the general public launch. The application process with both the NTIA and the Central Contractor Registration are simple and fast for a company of our size. We have redeemed coupons using both the retailer website and the toll-free phone number with little difficulty. The CLC Services Retailer Support Center has been responsive to any questions we have had, and we have received our coupon reimbursement payments in a timely manner. We found that customers aren't putting off the purchase of their converter box, thus the demand for the boxes should be consistent over the next 12 months. In summary, we are very pleased with the coupon redemption processes as created by the Congress, the NTIA, and IBM CLC Services. Our observation is that consumers seem to have a high degree of awareness and interest in the DTV transition. Websites dedicated to the DTV transition, sponsored by the NTIA, the Consumer Electronics Retailers Coalition, the FCC, and countless others, have provided a wealth of information to any consumer that has questions. In Wichita, we've cooperated with our local TV affiliates on news stories that educate consumers about the transition. All of our local TV stations have ubiquitous crawls along the bottom of the screen directing consumers to call or log on to a website for details about the transition. Our local newspaper, the Wichita Eagle, continues to run stories and updates on the coupon program. It is my belief that if someone is unaware that TV is changing, they simply haven't been paying attention. However, we also understand that awareness doesn't always translate to understanding. Creating consumer understanding of the transition falls to local retailers like us. We are on the front lines of public education, explaining the details of the transition and reassuring the customers that the transition will not be as draconian as some have assumed. To this end, we are successfully using the free handouts provided by the NTIA on their website. We also use reprints of pertinent newspaper articles as handouts, post helpful links on our own company website. We have observed that once we educate customers about the transition in easy-to-understand terms, they are relieved that they won't have to make any changes if they're on cable or satellite, or that the converter box solution is simpler than they had imagined. We fielded substantially fewer complaints than I had anticipated. Very few customers have mentioned any problems with the coupon application process. Most customers have had little trouble connecting their boxes. In fact, many customers have been pleasantly surprised that they are receiving more channels via the digital box than they did with their analog tuners. From our vantage point, the DTV transition is progressing very smoothly. The coupon redemption procedures designed by the NTIA and IBM CLC Services are easy to use and transparent for the retailer. We have seen little of the consumer angst that was predicted. Our customers understand the transition and are preparing themselves for the day that most analog broadcasts end. We would encourage the NTIA to continue the programs that are currently in place. The existing systems strike a good balance between the needs of the consumer and the retailer, while offering reasonable security against fraud. Finally, Mr. Chairman, there is one area in which members of your committee could make our lives a bit easier. When we started ordering our boxes, we found that the price had gone up several dollars from the announced price, apparently due to a 5% tariff category in which the government seems to have included these converter boxes. Representatives Ron Kind and Kevin Brady have introduced a bill into Congress, bill number H.R. 5635, that would reform this tariff so that the government would not be assessing a special tax that increases the cost to us of the very products that it is subsidizing. I would hope that your members would consider becoming co-sponsors of this legislation. At Hephner TV, we are excited to be a part of one of the largest technical upgrades in the last 60 years. The transition has spurred an unparalleled public interest and enthusiasm in the products we sell and in our industry as a whole. I appreciate this committee's interest in us and our concerns, and I hope you will remain in touch with us as the transition moves to its conclusion next year.